All right. All right, let's see what's going on here. Why is Sam connecting to audio? All right. All right. Can you hear me? It says I'm connecting. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. All right, I think I'm better. Okay, cool. Unedited and best. All right, welcome. We're gonna give it a minute for everyone to get in, and then we'll have so much fun together. So, actually, let me give it a minute, right? You don't need me talking right now. We'll put on some music, and I'll drink my fake vase, which is just filled up with the sink. Let's see. All right, super cool. Let me just see. You are the queen of last second. I'm writing that to Abigail. So if you're going to be the queen at something, you might as well do something like be the queen at last second. How do I download this? More actions, download, save. All right, cool. Bear with me, guys. I'm waiting for everyone to get in, so I'm talking to myself out loud. I know that. Where is it? All right, cool. Let's give it another minute. It's 2:02. Super exciting stuff. Hey, Sue. Hey, V. Oh, Brian. So, Brian, I'm actually hoping not to be, well, who am I kidding? I'm going to be long. But we will have it recorded, and we'll put it back up for everyone, which is totally cool. Okay. Hey, Mary. We are chapstick away from going. Okay. I'm so happy to be here. If I could even tell you what the last 24 hours would look like, it would actually take longer than 24 hours to share. And only at the moment that makes sense, you'll even get a grasp of what the last 24 hours have looked like. In fact, as I'm talking to you, we're still up against a deadline. Now, a couple of things that we've learned about Rhino. Rhino has goals that are so large that they're difficult to even put into words. And I know this because I spend a lot of my time practicing messaging, right? When you're creating a whole new economy from the bottom up, from Main Street up, that only works if you accomplish a couple of things, right? If you could be a credible source, if you could be someone that can lead a movement, if you could be someone that people want to follow. In doing that, you must exhibit certain characteristics like authenticity, genuine, intelligent, being able to share a vision, being able to recognize a vision, to have successes along the way, but then on top of that, to not make many mistakes, but the mistakes you do make, be able to identify them so quickly that those that have identified them with you have seen you not only acknowledge them and identify them, but resolve them. And then also not make mistakes, but also make enough mistakes that others can go ahead and point out with a little bit of constructive criticism that you then take and you're able to identify whether it's good criticism or not, but to take the good criticism, absorb it, use it to build the company to a bigger thing than it ever could have been in lieu of that criticism that you were hoping not to have by hoping not to make mistakes, but you made enough mistakes to get it so that you could decide which one is good and which one's bad. The point is there are so many variables to what Rhino does that it's inconceivable, incomprehensible, incalculable to get to where we're going to go. It just doesn't exist. You have to be able to have it innately. You have to have it in you. When you have it in you, then everything that you do is natural. And that natural calculation that's God-given, that's within you, is one that inspires others to be a part of it, right? So on top of all of that, outside of just simply messaging what Rhino does, because you got to remember, in creating what Rhino does, you have to bring people into the front end, right? Like, hey guys, this is where you should go for these reasons, right? You should search here, you should shop here, you should participate here, you should join here for these reasons. And it is those same exact people that you're also educating that they should be a part of it as well. And the difficult part is not only is our ideas and our vision so large that we need to educate or at least identify or share a message with someone to allow them to see, okay, this is the way I have been doing it, and this is the way that you guys are suggesting I do it. But you have to do it twice, because not only are we saying, hey, listen, join Rhino search here, that means nothing. It does not matter if you search on Rhino if we have no search results, right? Okay, well then don't search Rhino, just be the search results. Well, it doesn't matter if you're a search result if nobody searches you. So Rhino has such high aspirations that we have taken on the goal, the challenge, that not only are we so on point of where we're going, that we're convincing and that we're making aware and we're mobilizing people to participate, but that only works if we're able to doubly do that to everyone. Because it does not matter if you want to be a search result if there's no searches, and it does not matter if you want to be a search if there's no search results. So in building an economy, you have to build the buyer and the seller. And if our aspirations were a little bit smaller, if our goals were a little bit smaller, where we decided, hey, listen, let's just throw a webinar and at 2 o'clock, let's just sell a bunch of nonsense to people, that's easy. We can go ahead and just sell, because we don't actually need to care if you are happy with the product. We're just selling it to you, right? And conversely, what if you have a good product and we're trying to buy it from you? We're trying to buy it. Well, then if we're buying it from you, well, what's the next step, right? Like, what if you just left? Is it a good product or not, right? So to go ahead and do what we're doing, we are actually, and it's funny because a lot of people have commented, Anthony, I've never seen a company so transparent. Anthony, I've never seen anyone that does everything for free. Like, I don't know how you're doing it over there. I mean, I get it because I'm on the lives, but it's just not been done by anyone ever. And it's funny because my own wife is like, Anthony, how do you make money? Like, how does this happen? You are doing everything for everyone. You have investors, you have partners, and everyone is paid. Everyone is happy. You don't sell anything. And I said to her and to everyone that's involved, everything is a sale, right? Like, I'm always selling something, and that's not to say I'm a salesman. It's to say that if I'm sitting there and I'm sitting with my wife and I want Chinese food and she wants Italian food, and I say, hey, babe, you know what? I passed this Chinese restaurant the other day. They have the world's best ribs. They're the #1 Chinese place, which every Chinese place apparently is the #1 Chinese place, but they have the world's best ribs. I heard that they're amazing. We should really do it. I'm selling her that I want to eat Chinese that day. In fact, for her to say no to that, but she'll have to come back with it with, yeah, well, there's this Italian place and the meatballs are made by their grandma. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Now we have a negotiation going, right? The point of the story is we are selling Rhino. It's distributive marketing. We've shared this the whole time. We are distributing so much to everyone. We are giving away so much to everyone that we believe that the market, the economy, the world, the absolute unfairness, the discrepancy, the disparity between wealth and has created such vacuums that in people's everyday lives, there are parts of their life that they're like, I just feel unfulfilled here. I feel like I don't have, I work this job, but to what end, right? I don't feel like I have upward mobility. I don't feel like I'm even valued. I don't feel like I'm even liked. I'm just going through the day and I'm doing this because I need to pay my bills. I think people are alive without living. And I think to give someone the opportunity to live while they're alive is something that's invaluable. And I think it doesn't have a definition to it, right? I think it has a bunch of different buckets. Maybe to that person, it's allowing them to be valued. Maybe to that person, it's allowing them to be known in the community. Maybe to that person, it's allowing them to be part of a charity. Maybe to that person, it's growing a business. Maybe to that one, it's doing it with their family. Maybe it's to that one, it's doing it with their daughter. Maybe it's to that one that is sharing. Maybe, I don't know. But I know that every single person in this economy has a bucket that is unfulfilled. So I believe that if we're able to fill all said buckets, those that have the buckets filled would have come into this resource, this value that they can't put a dollar on. Hey, I wasn't happy and now I am. Rhino makes me happy. I'm happy with Rhino. And when someone's happy with Rhino, they stay with Rhino. And when someone stays with Rhino and that person stays with Rhino, which stays with that person, which stays with that person, and you have a large number of people, then you have a population. You have a group, you have a movement. And it is the value of that population that is far more valuable than any one person in that population. If you have 1 million people that will follow you, that are part of your program, that consider themselves and they brand themselves as I'm Rhino because this is where I want to be. If each one of them gave you $1, you'd have $1 million. Well, do you think each one of them only worth $1? Do you think each one of them, it'd be far more valuable if you were like, hey guys, I just read this book, maybe you'd like it too. And they say, well, I like you. You've always been honest with me. If you like this book and we're part of the same thing, I'll go ahead and buy that book. Hey guys, I went to this restaurant, maybe you'll like it. And it is that type of movement, that type of mobilization in terms of a population, in terms of a community, that's worth far more than that $1 per person, $10 per person, $30 per person. I'll tell you something. Rhino right now we've launched 15 weeks ago. Now, I know many of us have been with Rhino for a longer period of time, right? We've seen Persuasion, Rhino Digital, Rhino Concierge, Rhino Premier. Like we've constantly been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Constantly creating a bigger and bigger value proposition. But I'll tell you right now, of the 15 weeks since we launched Rhino, the iteration that you're a part of right now, we have 801 members. We started with 50. That's all been organic. That's all been word of mouth. That's all been email, just sharing emails with people, right? That's pretty good. In fact, you would say, Ant, you went ahead and multiplied your community by 16 organically over 15 weeks. In fact, you've multiplied it 1 time more than the weeks given. In fact, you're up 16 times in 15 weeks. That's pretty good. And I agree, that's amazing, right? Here's the part that answers all the questions about income. Our average Rhino purchases $30.15 worth of Rhino coin every single week. Every single week. That means the average Rhino 15 times 13 comes out to what? 130, 65, $195. The average Rhino has purchased in coin since our start. And when you take that number and you multiply it by the number of Rhinos, you start getting a pretty large number. And what is it that they're purchasing? What is this coin? Because I can't hold it in my hand. I can't buy it on Binance. It doesn't exist anywhere. What is it? Well, in January 2023, it will exist. We will have a whole launch around it. Right now, you're purchasing, it's like what's the word I'm looking for? You're reserving it, right? Because there's only 1 billion, you're reserving your allocation. Everyone can see the ledger, everyone can see the buy, everyone can see the sell. In fact, one of our members went ahead and two of our members put in the sell order and they got their money like that. But January 2023, the whole entire platform processes everything in Rhino Coin. And what is the things that they're processing? It's the actual search engine. Everyone that searches in the search engine is going to come up with a search result. Those search results are the search engine are going to process in Rhino Coin because those search results have been put on the platform by Rhino, right? Well, and what's the value proposition? Why would anyone want to be on the search engine, or why would they want to even go ahead and do that? Well, if you remember, Rhino has built a coin that everyone has, right? If you're a part of Rhino, you receive 50 Rhino coin per month. Sorry, I get myself like worked up. I'm like, you receive 50 Rhino coin per month. On top of that, you're able to purchase the coin at any point that you so choose, right? Therefore, everyone is a part of the coin, right? Everyone has a representation. But why would they do that, right? What is the search engine and why does it make it so valuable? Well, for every Rhino, we go ahead and put you on the search engine, right? So we're going to do your site. We're moving the site over. We're building the whole base. We're building the whole economy. We're bringing people into the search engine. They're searching. They're buying the results from it. Blah, 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 blah. Now, what does it do to every company that's on the search engine, right? Like, does it affect anyone anyway? So if you're a company that's on the search engine, it's actually quite simple. Your Rhino coin, the Rhino coin gets facilitated on your transaction, right? So you're a shirt company, you sell $100 in shirts, $100 comes into you, that $100 then becomes an automatic buy order for Rhino coin, which will be on the Coinbase and Binance and all the different apps by January. And now you own $100 in Rhino coin. Now the person might say, well, Ann, I really, I'm not really, I get it, right? Like I love Rhino coin, like go Rhino, but I don't really want to own all that Rhino coin. Like I can't pay my rent in Rhino coin, right? Well, okay, that's not a problem. In fact, you could even code it to automatically redeem the coin. So wait, I'm going to sell the shirts for $100. I come into $100. It then gets used to buy $100 worth of Rhino coin, and then it automatically gets redeemed to go ahead and sell and collect $100 in cash. Yes. Now, mind you, there's going to be some transactional costs, not transactional costs to Rhino, but spreads, right? So to do those two transactions right away, anyone that knows crypto, there's a bit of a spread. Maybe you collect $98 or $99, right? Like, let's be honest here. But if you go ahead and elect that, which everyone in Rhino elects, right? Like that's the whole point of Rhino. That's where the value of Rhino is. But if you go ahead and elect that, then that means the growth of your company is directly additive to Rhino coin, which means Rhino coin harnesses and captures the growth of your company because your company is using the Rhino coin in transactions. Okay, that's really cool. But Ann, isn't a lot of companies on this search engine? Yes, that's the point. So the search engine is localized, right? The people come to the search engine, they search the search engine. They find a result, they then purchase from that result. All right, so say it's in town A, now it's in town A and B, now it's in town A and B and C, and then blah, 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 blah. The point being, every transaction that's ever done on this search engine is going to effectively all be additive to the value of the coin because every transaction equals purchases for the coin. Therefore, when you add up all those purchases together, how much coin do you got purchased on it every single day? Meaning the coin absolutely captures the entire transactions and the entire growth of Rhino Street of the search engine. So you have to ask yourself, well, is Rhino Street the search engine good? Like, is it something that's going to grow? Why would I want to be tied to Rhino Street, the search engine? There's Google, there's Yahoo, there's MSN. Why do I want to be tied to this? Well, that's the question, right? So what is the proposition? What's the value of Rhino Street? And the value of Rhino Street is in backing up and saying, well, we see the wealth disparity, we see the income disparity, we see that small business is very difficult to grow. In fact, we would say it's completely unfair, right? You have big business that's very large. After COVID, they've gotten even larger because government said non-essential businesses need to be closed, which is your Main Street businesses, your local businesses, and essential businesses get to stay open. During that COVID, the essential businesses were able to vacuum up all your customers. They were able to bring prices down because they were able to scale their product even further because instead of buying 1 million of something, they're able to buy 2 million of it because they have all these new customers. Everyone's buying everything. Everyone's staying home. The government went ahead and printed God knows how much money to go ahead and feed you while you're home, enhanced unemployment, payment protection programs, all of the rest. Supply chain got annihilated. How much stuff got closed? Economy reopens. There's not enough supply in existence. There's not much labor in existence because the labor sitting home, still getting paid the enhanced unemployment, slow to go back. Everyone's opened up. The whole economy wants to open up. The whole economy is going out. Everyone's rich because they received all this money. They paid down their debts. They haven't paid a mortgage payment. And you have an economy of people that want to go out, a strong consumer. You have an economy of businesses that are vastly underprepared because they've closed how many down due to COVID. You have all this money in the system. Prices go up. It's hard to get labor. Only half of the people want to come back to the workforce. So employees, labor is more expensive. Inflation has now increased the price of all goods and services. And now you are able to start your small business again. You know, the small business that got closed down because you're non-essential. Don't you want to get back into this economy? It sounds like a rip-roaring one for you to be a part of. In fact, that's completely unfair because the only way you can even compete in this economy is if you have such a scale behind you that you can compete on social media and through, wait for it, search engines. You are opening up your own company. You want to open up a vacuum company, whatever. You've got the best vacuums in the entire world. Nobody would beat your vacuums. Okay, how do you share that? How does anyone know that you have a vacuum company? Seriously, like how do you go ahead and what money do you have sitting around to go invest to go ahead and open up a storefront? Is that what you want to do? Well, who's your customers? Well, your town is all shopping on Amazon and all of these other places where they've been getting their vacuums from. So do you think they're going to stop doing that to go ahead and go to your vacuum store grand opening? Probably not. So how do you go ahead and sell your vacuums? Okay, we'll go ahead and do social media posts, right? Go ahead and do Facebook ad spend. What's your ad budget? $10 a day? $100 a day? If you had an ad budget of $100 a day, that's $3,100 a month that you're doing just in marketing. Do you know how meager $100 a day is in Facebook ad spend? It would get you nowhere. Okay, fine. You're going to do search engines. You're going to go ahead and go on Google. All right, well, how much are you going to pay Google? Because the top 10 results, especially because vacuums can be bought and sold all over the United States, they can be shipped from state to state. What makes you think that your vacuum is going to be at the top 10? Do you think you could out market spend, I don't know, Macy's, Amazon, JCPenney's, like Target, Walmart? Can you outspend them? I don't think you can. So what does that mean? It means that you have an idea, you have a company idea, you have a business idea, and you will never, ever, ever realize it. You won't. Because the economy is completely rigged against you. And that's not me saying, like, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, right? Like, I'm not saying the word rigged because I think there's this big cabal that's against you. No, the economy by economics is not conducive to small business entering. Big business has had their day. They have more money than God themselves. They have more money than this country has. This country has 30 trillion in debt, but this country has politicians who are able to dictate policy in an environment that everyone seems to just simply accept whatever's being told to them because they're completely tribalistic. You have the Republican team, you have the Democratic team, right? Then you have big business that has all the money, and to go ahead and get their things through, they have lobbyists that they go ahead and pay on behalf to go ahead and give campaign donations to the senators and the congressmen and all the rest. You are no longer even relevant. This stock market hit all-time highs while you were unemployed. You know why? Because you are completely irrelevant to this economy, because this economy is big business plus big government. You are a serf. And even more so now than ever before, with the middle class being yanked out and small business being decimated, you don't have the ability to compete. You are now on the serfdom. You are now of the lower income bracket. You are now part of the bottom 99%. You are part of those that need government subsidies, unemployment benefits. You are part of the, and that's unfair, right? So I don't want to say that to everyone because again, we're not speaking in hyperbole. But if you're going to go ahead and get hired at a particular job, you're completely hostage to the company and what their hourly pay is. You're completely hostage to your half-hour lunches. You're completely hostage to being a complete number where they're going to treat you the way they're going to treat you, and then they're going to fire you when they want to. They're going to lower the pay when they want to, and they'll go ahead and hire younger whenever they want to. You are simply just a cog that's put into the machine because you don't own anything yourself. The politicians have long been bought and sold. The business has no intention of ever allowing competition to come back in. And these guys, the big business and big government, are the ones with the money. You're here and you have no power into what they do. You think your vote counts? We just saw a mailed-in president last night. So what's the solution, right? And that's what we believe Rhino Street is. Now, Rhino Street, well, actually, let's take a step back before I go into that, right? The reason we've come up with the solution of Rhino Street is because we believe in the Socratic method. And to those that are not the scientists out there, or maybe didn't do too good, or not, that's mean. But don't remember back in the day when they were in school, the Socratic method by Socrates in ancient Greece was, hey, when you don't know how to solve something, get back to basics. I'm paraphrasing him. I'm sure he said something far more smart than that. But the point was, how does a wheel work, right? Well, you put it on the ground and it rolls. No. How does it roll? And instead of Socrates must have been that really annoying person that was like, oh yeah, well, why? Oh yeah, well, why? Oh yeah, well, why? Oh yeah. And it's like stop it. You're annoying. So I don't know Socrates, but I'm sure he was quite annoying, but he was pretty good because he got a lot of answers because all he did was ask why. Why does the wheel turn? Well, the circumference. Why is the circumference like that? Well, the radius times pi. What is pi? Well, pi is 3.14. What? And it's just like, okay, enough. But the point is, when you got down to the nitty gritty. You got to the reason. You got to the soil. You got to where the seed was. You were able to go ahead and take that seed and put it into soil and have an understanding of what it's going to blossom into. That's what search engines are. Because if I were to ask you, if I were to ask you, the next time you purchase an item, would you like to purchase it from a large Wall Street company who has, I don't want to say anything bad. Like, let's take the hyperbole out of it. Let's just ask it straight out. The next time you purchase an item, would you like to purchase it from a large Wall Street owned company, or would you like to purchase it from a local small business in your town? Now, I'm not asking you to actually give me the answers, right? But in my wisdom, let's call it, right? There's probably 4-letter words for what people would describe me as. But in my estimation, I think at least 50% would say they would prefer to purchase something from a small business local to their town. And in fact, I think if you even jazz the question up a little bit further, right? Like, let's jazz it up. Would you prefer your next item you purchase, would you prefer to purchase it from a Wall Street owned company, or would you prefer to purchase it from your neighbor's local business? I think we now swayed the answer, right? Like, maybe it's at least 75-25 in favor of purchasing it from your neighbor's business, right? So what would be the variables that would allow you to purchase it from a Wall Street company over a local business? Well, A, if the thing didn't exist, right? Or B, if it was something that was super specially done, like Nike golf clubs or Moderna vaccines, right? Like, there are certain things that a global brand can do better than local businesses. We are not saying that there's no room for big business. They're amazing. Big business is big for a reason. If you've ever actually met the people that do the operations of these businesses, they're some of the smartest people you've ever met in your life. The engineers of big business are by far the smartest people I've ever met in my life, right? But there's many, many items that you do not need to go ahead and outsource to Wall Street, right? Like, do I need to go to Airbnb to go ahead and have a house to rent? Or is there someone in the community that could do that on their own, right? Do I need to go to Keller Williams to find real estate, or is there a local real estate agent? Do I need to go to Domino's to get pizza, or is there like Frank's Pizza, right? Like, I don't think I need to do all that stuff. So when you get down to the Socratic method of it all, you're able to identify that at least 50%, right? I'm going with that. I'm telling you, in my estimations, that number is woefully underperforming what the real number is. And I'm telling you that this business is completely dependent on me being right. So if you don't want to be a part of this, this is the point right now. This entire company depends on me being 100% correct on this point, that at least half the population would prioritize purchasing their next purchase from local business over a Wall Street owned company, assuming that the price and the quality was comparable, right? And I don't mean to the penny. I will buy a slice of pizza from Frank's Pizza that's been in business for 100 years for $4, and I would buy the same amount of them as I would a Domino's slice for $2, right? So I will pay twice as much to go ahead and support the local business. And that's also the other key to it. Not only is it at least 50% would support local business over big business, but they would also even pay more to do it. So if I'm telling you that I believe that the market that we could really leverage, the market that we could really fill the void in, is a market that at least 50% of people want to participate in, and of those, they're all willing to go ahead and spend more money to be a part of it, you would say to yourself, well, wow, duh, golly gee, wow, bing, boom, bomb. Like, I want to be a part of it, right? Okay, that's what we're doing. So how does Rhino Street answer that, right? Like, what about Rhino Street? The Rhino Street, well, I'm almost there. I keep jumping. So let's go back to the search engine. The thing that search engines know and big Wall Street companies know is the Socratic method. And what do I mean by that? You go ahead and you want to buy something, right? You want to buy something. Now, I'm going to take a sip of water. and for the next 5 seconds, you want to buy something, what's the next thing you do? You search it. Where do you search it? Google, Yahoo, MSN, Bing. The second that you type that keyboard into that search engine, you're already past the red line. Every result, everything that comes to you from that point forward is Wall Street. Because for any company to be on that search engine, they paid. Or they are large enough that they command enough traffic that the algorithm identifies them as a good result, right? Which means the search engine, the for-profit Wall Street-owned search engines operate twofold. One, they sell to the highest bidder, or two, in lieu of having a highest bidder, they by default find the largest companies, which by default, those companies probably did some marketing before, hence brings it right back to how they got to where they are. So the second you go ahead and search anything on that search engine, you are already in Wall Street territory. So you can have the best, all right, well, I want to search a small business. I want to buy from small business. I want to go ahead and blah, blah, blah. You're already done. So what if we were able to educate a population that that is the point that you made the decision? It's in that exact second that your decision making has been taken from you, because everything you do from there is Wall Street. Well, if we were able to do that, do you think that person would say, well, Ant, what's the alternative? Like, how do I search anything other than that? Well, that's what our answer is, Rhino Street. Because if you can believe and if you can agree that there are some things that you do not need to buy from a Wall Street company, like, I don't know, socks, like, I don't know, milk, like that you don't need to go to Walmart for, you can go to, like, maybe, do I have a friend named Fred? Because Fred and Frank are really on my mind, right? Maybe I want a Frankfurter. I don't know. Anyway, then there are items that you don't need, and a lot of them, there are a lot of them, and I'm going to show you that, right? So that's what Rhino Street is. Now, what is Rhino Street's main value proposition? Like, what makes Rhino Street so important? What makes it even something that anyone would go to? It has one differentiating factor. Well, two, right? Two differentiating factors. One being it disqualifies any company owned by Wall Street. If you are a Wall Street company, you will never, ever, ever be on Rhino Street. And that's not discrimination. It's my search engine, right? Like, it's our search engine. I could put whoever I want on. End of story. Secondly, the results are only within a 20-mile radius. So some people have said to me, Anthony, that you're really leaving a lot of money on the table. Like, what if somebody wants to search something 25 miles away? What if someone wants to search 30 miles away? What if someone wants to search something 50 miles away? You know what I say to those people? There's a great search engine. It's called Google. Go to it. I'm not telling you to not go on Google and only go on Rhino. I'm not telling you to not search Google. I'm telling you, or I'm suggesting to you, that you search Rhino first because you search families first, right? Why don't you search your community first? Your 20-mile radius, why don't you search them first? No, if you cannot find it in your own community, then search somewhere else. But why not start there? Because one of the most primitive, one of the most basic instincts that all humans have is security and protection of their community. And I can promise you that once people start getting swept up in the education and the awareness and the movement of, yeah, I search Rhino first, I search families first, that's going to take on a life of its own. Okay, so Anthony, sounds like a big, great thing. What's your marketing? You're going to be a search engine, right? Yeah. So a lot of the, and by the way, that's the reason, right? So that's why people buy Rhino Coin. Because if this search engine, if the concept of the search engine is agreeable by 50% of the population, then by simply executing, and not easily executing, but by simply executing, we're as large as Google, right? So that's why. And if you could have got into Google before anyone even knew the word Google, where would you be today? And those people that buy Rhino Coin are smart enough to think that thought today. Now, I say smart enough because I believe we're going to get there, hence they're smart enough. but maybe they're silly enough. Maybe we don't get there, right? But I know we are, so they're smart enough. So how do we do the marketing? Because a lot of people have reached out to me and said, "Ant, okay, well, you need to do this funnel system. You need to do this marketing. You need to do that marketing." No. See, because the search engine is localized, it's constantly siloed in different 20-mile radiuses. And the value of a search engine is based on the functionality, right? So we can have all these, oh, well, when we search the search engine, there's no Wall Street. And when we search the search engine, it's only 20-mile radius. Well, what about when you search that search engine and there is no results? What do you do then? Are you ever going to search it again? A search engine needs to have results. Therefore, if we went ahead and took a top-down approach and did a mass marketing for the entire country, how would that work? We'd have maybe 2 companies in Boise, Idaho, and then maybe 3 in Boston, Massachusetts, and maybe 1 in Bismarck, wherever the hell that city is. Like, that would never work, which means Rhino needs to go from town to town to town, sharing why anyone would want to be on Rhino Street, right? So when we go town to town to town, what is the value proposition for that town to go ahead and move to Rhino Street? Well, I think anyone would agree that a vibrant local economy is good, right? A vibrant local economy provides freedom, security, independence, standard of living, health, education, unity. It provides all those things because everyone is contributing together. There is no one demographic. There is no anyone that's left behind. There is enough. The circus is in town. Everyone has a job. Everyone is living a dream. Everyone is aspiring for more, and everyone's doing it together because they all live in the same town. Nobody's cutting each other's throats because the person you're cutting the throat of is your neighbor, right? The dog walker is your friend's daughter, right? Like, the tutor is your cousin's son. That's what a local community does. And when you have a vibrant one, people don't choose drugs. They don't choose crime. You have better schools. You have all this stuff. Why? Because tax revenue. Tax revenue goes to the local municipality. The tax revenue is then used to go ahead and reinvest into the local economy. Therefore, you can say a vibrant local economy, a vibrant Main Street equals a prosperous Main Street, an educated Main Street. Therefore, who is the person? Who is the entity? Who are we going to tell this to? Who would be the one that would say, you know what, that would benefit us? The mayor. The mayor, right? Like the local congressman. What are they called? Assemblymen, the local chambers of commerce, because these are the recipients of that tax revenue. So what is our pitch to them? What is it that we're saying to them? We built a search engine that allows all results to be localized within a 20-mile radius. That anyone that uses a search engine is consciously making a decision or consciously I sound like Biden last night. They're consciously expressing the choice to support local economy. And we are literally just facilitating, we're engineering the vehicle for them to do so. By offering them said vehicle, you are allowing commerce to grow within your own community. And as that commerce grows, more people become participants in it, because an economy is only as valuable as the participants in it. An economy is like a fax machine. If you own one fax machine and you are the only owner of a fax machine in the entire world, guess what? It's worth nothing, because who are you going to fax anything to? Nobody. But if you are one owner of a fax machine and many people own fax machine, now it's worth something because the network of it, right? The network effect of Rhino Street is completely dependent on the participants in it. Therefore, if we're able to educate the local municipalities that Rhino Street is the vehicle to increase tax revenue, then they get behind it. The chambers of commerce get behind it, right? Now, is any local community just going to do something because the government told them to do it? No. But the government is quite important because they are going to be the infrastructure that we go ahead and leave behind, that we educate and keep in touch with so that they can continue facilitating the growth within their own town. It is the people that we need to speak to. And every single weekend, starting in April, we will be traveling to different towns across this whole great nation. And they will be structured and they will be planned to do meet and greets and live events. But I can tell you something, if we're able to go ahead and share this message with you here and you find it to be a little bit like, wow, that actually is a good idea. What do you think about the local community? What do you think that they'll think about it? What do you think that they'll think, knowing that they could go ahead and secure to protect the local economies, that they can go ahead and grow and become vibrant and educated once again? That the solution to their problems is not in, electing this politician who says we're going to do this to those people. It's to go ahead and bring it from the bottom up and allow everyone to share in the prosperity and the big dream, right? Okay. So what does that look like? How do we do that? So I have it completely itemized, well, not itemized, but I have it structured, and it's now 2:41. So I don't know if I'll show it because it's already 2:41. Maybe I will. All right. First, but you know what? Let me just go to it, right? Let's do that. And then I'm going to show you Rhino Street. So I'm going to do a share screen. Why is that over there? Can I share just that? That's really cool, actually. I'm not going to do it, but just couldn't own it. Okay. So what do we got here? Well, you know it's Rhino because you can see the Rhino green. Now, starting March 7th, our amazing Rhino host, V, who's done, first of all, let me say something, right? In Rhino, like in any successful business that ever walked the face of this planet, you are not defined by what you write on paper during good times. You are completely defined in how you go ahead and handle when life has unexpected difficulties for you. We completely believed you were going to have Rhino Street done by last night's 8 o'clock. That was the deadline. We had given ourselves 3 weeks to do it, and we were unable to hit that deadline. And not because we sit around twiddling our thumbs, but because things happened and unexpected things came up. And it was 7:58 p.m. That was my last text to V, which I was in touch with her from 6:30 on, but saying we need to go to plan B. And to go ahead and for her to walk into a situation where it's like, okay, I had everything this, but now I'm going to plan B. And at the same time, everyone in the culture of Rhino knows you're always going to respect every Rhino that's a part of it. So there was no coming out and saying, hey guys, let me get a funny joke for you. It was, no, we still are accountable to provide a level of content and standard that everyone is accustomed to that respects everyone that's a part of it. And I just want to say, she exhibits Rhino, and obviously, but anything that you saw of her last night that you said was good, now that you know the behind the scenes, that it was completely odds against that it would ever even be okay, you can understand that when the tough gets going, we're going to always answer, because that's what makes a company. So just want to say that. Anyways, so what we're looking at here, starting March 7th, and V's actually seeing this for the first time. I still need to, we shared these conversations, but we're going to be looking at this for the first time today. So, hey V, we are, and she knows that we're evolving our Rhino meetings because our Rhino meetings have served the purpose that they were. We always wanted to be present. We always wanted to be in front of everyone. We always wanted to let you know that we are right there with you, right? In doing so, we did Rhino meetings and had a live Rhino host, which was me, and then evolved into V, where every single day we were able to be on the front lines and hear the questions, comments, concerns, and at the same time, share with you all the exciting updates that are happening. That never at one point do you have to worry, oh my God, I got into Rhino and now I don't know what they're doing. You can always find out within a 24-hour period for a live person that's right there in front of you. Now that's great. But the question then becomes, yes, you've accomplished the feat of credibility, of access, of caring. We understand where your heart is, but I don't have a reason to be on Rhino every single day. Your Rhino meetings are every day. And although I love V, some days I do other stuff. What is the value to be on Rhino every day? And, it's a real concern. For us to grow and for us to keep our numbers higher and continually higher, they have to be a value. There has to be a reason that people come to the webinar, because time is important. Although we have 100 people on at any given time, we have to value your time. To have 100 people on for a moment where it's just us kind of kicking it together probably equals 1,000 people if you had a real reason or something that they felt they needed to be on for. So let's put it all together. So Rhino Street is a localized search engine, meaning what's quite important to anybody that gets onto Rhino Street is to educate that new community. That economy, that local economy, that local community is going to be the target of any type of campaign. Well, we need to go ahead and teach them who we are. We need to teach them why they should be on Rhino Street. Well, so I feel like I'm all over the place. Let me just back up for 1 second. So when you go on Rhino Street and you search, which you'll see in the video, because I do have a video for you. We're going to go through this and I'll show you the video. It's only 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So I should have us out of here by 3 o'clock. In fact, I commit I will have us out of here by 3 o'clock. So when you go on Rhino Street, you're doing it with the belief that you're, well, not with the belief, but with the choice that you've exhibited that you want to go ahead and support your local business, your local economy, your neighbors. So you go ahead and search pizza shop, right? Now, what if there's no pizza shop that comes up? Well, that's a problem because obviously there's a pizza shop in your community, right? Like there has to be, or maybe there isn't a pizza shop in your community and it's a real opportunity. Like, why doesn't someone become a pizza shop? Well, in Rhino Street, you can search. When there's a result for that area, the result comes up. You search pizza shop, a local pizza shop comes up. Great. If there is not a local pizza shop, a result does come up. The result says, would you like to be that pizza shop? Would you like to be that result? Would you like to open up that business? Which means not only does Rhino Street go ahead and support the local economy in the sense of keeping and harnessing everything that makes you great, but it grows the local economy because it does not allow the dollars to be outsourced elsewhere. When there is a need for something, it actually inspires and gives opportunity to the person that does that search. That person then is in prime position to say, wow, my economy doesn't have a pizza shop. I could be the pizza shop. I could be on Rhino Street. When someone searches pizza shop going forward, they're going to search my business. I can be a pillar of my community and be the pizza shop in my community. That sounds pretty cool, right? Well, if somebody were to go ahead and do that, what is the prerequisites they would need? Because that sounds like a good idea, but how many times have we had good ideas and then we do nothing with it? Well, they would need to know a couple of things. They would need to know how to properly plan and prepare for opening a company, right? They would need to know how to launch it. They would need to know how to manage it. They would need to know how to market for it. They would need to know how to grow it. And what you see right here is 5 links. These all go to the SBA website, Small Business Association of the United States of America. These are their tutorials on how to do these things. And their tutorials also offer recommendations and suggestions of their programs. You see, I'm a pretty smart person, but I don't know that there's government grants for like having red hair today, right? Like, I don't know that stuff. I don't know these tax rates versus those. I don't know what government giveaway is happening. I don't know if I qualify for rental assistance. I don't know any of that stuff. You know who does know that stuff? The SBA. So, and you know who put together these SBA plans? The SBA. You know who gives small business loans? The SBA. The point is, if we knew how to plan, prepare, launch, manage, market, and grow a business through the SBA with the benefit of having access to all the SBA products, one would say that's quite, I don't know, valuable. That if you knew all of that, you can be a pizza shop because you would know how to open said pizza shop, right? Okay, so for the month of March, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's not really that, it's Monday, Tuesday, what's today? Wednesday? I'm on Wednesday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? These are the 5 days. And that's going to be every single week for the entire March. Well, Ant, I already saw this last week. Well, do you think you memorized it all in a week? I don't. So it would behoove you to watch it again. Well, Ant, I really don't want to watch it again. Then don't, right? Like that's on you. But we're going to make sure that those that want to be educated on how to grow a business are going to be educated on how to do it. But the bigger part of it is, what does it do? What is the goals that it accomplishes? Well, our Rhino host will evolve to be a small business administration expert. Can you imagine coming to Rhino knowing that the host that's on every day is an absolute expert on everything SBA, on how to build a company, and every government giveaway that's there? Is that a valuable person to go ahead and communicate and engage with? Yeah, it is. Our Rhino host will become so valuable to all Rhinos, because when you have your business and you say, oh, how do I do this? What's my next step there? You know who knows those answers? How about these lives will be edited into simple modules all of Rhinos can easily access, right? So since we're going to be doing this repetition for like 4 weeks in a row, do you think we'll have enough content that we'll be able to pick the best of the best of the best of the best, edit it, make it beautiful, and make it a 5-module set, so that any Rhino going forward says, okay, I want to go ahead and watch those. I want to learn this stuff. Let me go ahead and look at the Rhino modules. Is that valuable content for us? Yeah. How about our Rhino meetings will become a most trusted resource for all entrepreneurs? How many people will then say, listen, I don't know who Rhino is, but I need someone to ask a question to. I'll go there. Right? Because we're sitting there like, hey guys, please ask us a question. We're right here. And here's the thing that you can't forget, and this is one of the most important things I've learned in being a participant, being a team leader in Rhino. Repetition is everything. I challenge anyone to watch these videos and my lives from a year ago. It's very different. My wife will laugh. There was in the beginning that I was nervous, and I actually had it transcribed on my phone, and I was reading it for hip suasion, some of the hip suasion videos. And she would come visit me in New Orleans, and I'm sitting there doing this, and I would get a word wrong, and I would yell and curse, and then go ahead and redo it. And I'd spend an hour reading a 1-paragraph transcription. And she thought I was nuts, but again, apparently she loved me, right? Because we got married. But we've come a long way. And due to the sheer volume, due to the sheer going through this for 3-4 weeks in a row, but on top of it, being Rhino host for every question, everything going forward, do you think that there's a chance that our Rhino host might end up becoming the most sought after small business source in the entire world? I think so. And if you think I'm crazy, good. Because the people that are crazy enough to believe they can change the world are the ones that do, right? So thank you. These are all the different government assistance programs and these are all, we're having a new email format starting next week. These are going to be in the footer and nicely put there, because I think there are some people that would like housing assistance or health insurance or immigration assistance or food assistance or family services. And I think there are some people that just believe that it's like beneath them or embarrassed to ask for it, or that they don't know where to go for it, or that they think they don't qualify for it. This is paid for by your tax dollars. This is your government. And if you qualify for one of the programs, God bless, take it, right? That's all I have to say on that matter. And we're not going to be done by 3 o'clock. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to, I talked to Abigail about, she said, hold on. If I go to my website and I haven't heard from her at all, I know that she's responding. Oh, Letty, I'll go ahead and, oh, you're to host and panelist. I always read everything out loud. I'll make sure she does. I know that we've been super duper busy with this. Obviously not an excuse. I know her email is auto respond, and I know it gives you the link to book a call with her. And many people have taken that option. So you did have an access, right? Like you did have an ability. You just chose not to book the call. You wanted the email, which is fine, right? You don't want to give them a call. That's not a big deal. But I say that out loud because I want everyone to know there is an absolute source of access, right? That being said, I will have her email you, let's say by 4 o'clock today, right? Cool. So now when we go into towns, right? So yeah, my pleasure, Letty. So let's say we go into, I don't know, ABC town in Idaho, and we're going there Friday. Well, what would behoove us, right? What if on day 1, we emailed every resident in ABC, Idaho, and told them who we were and that we're hosting a live event in their town that's free. It's going to have food, drink, merchandise, bands. Come there. It's going to change your life. Rhino Street, this is the thing. If you want to know more about Rhino Street, here it is. But join our lives today because we are doing it. We're conducting market research on your town today. So if you want to see our market research on your town that we're going to do live, join our live today, right? I mean, some people might be curious, like, who's this Rhino coming to my town that's hosting an event this weekend that's telling me that they're conducting market research on me? I'm going to go join that, right? Now, what if we also went ahead and said, you know what, according to our market research, there is X amount of companies that would thrive in your town. In fact, they would be so amazing, especially if the town went ahead and were the ones that patronize each other. And we explained Rhino Street. See below, right? You think I didn't do the work on this? There's a lot of businesses any town can have, right? So which of these would thrive in that town? Day 2. So what about Rhino meeting day 2? Well, today we're writing a business plan. We've identified these 10 businesses, these 20, these 30 businesses that would be perfect in your town based on the market research we did on your town. And we are sharing our business plans for them. In fact, whatever. In fact, if you'd like to go ahead and be one of these businesses, why not come check it out, right? And the point is, we're going to do this to everyone in the town. Anthony, how are you going to get the emails? We'll do our marketing, right? Like, we're going to make sure, but we're going to silo and target that town. But what are we doing? It's not like we're selling them like vacuum cleaners. You know, choose your business name. What if we came up with a whole bunch of really cool, fun names? Everyone in the town. Remember, we're going to be throwing the event. We're going to be throwing the event at the largest banquet hall in the town or the largest whatever. And those people that own that banquet hall, it's going to behoove them to go ahead and send mailers out to those people. What if we got in touch with the Postal Service and sent a mail to every single house in that town and invited them cordially to our event, right? And all of this, and in that, this is a great idea. I'm coming with it right now. We send a flyer to every single person in that town, and on that flyer says who we are, how they can join the lives, where they can go, and what we're doing, right? And we show them the market research, the businesses, how to write a business plan, how to structure the business, choosing your business name, registering your business, getting your federal and state IDs, applying for licenses and permits, opening a business bank account, funding your business. That will be Rhino host. That will be the Rhino meetings for that week. It's going to be the same every single week, except it's going to highlight a different town, which means the content is always going to be different, which means we're effectively going into towns and saying, hey guys, we get it. We are going to teach you how to go ahead and grow your town, how to be prosperous, how to become millionaires beyond your belief with Rhino Coin, how you can actually open up these businesses, how you can keep them in town. And this is what we're doing for you. Why are we doing it? Because we believe that your community plus their community plus their community is going to equal a movement that can be captured in the coin, and that coin is owned by all of us. And this is the way we take back our lives and our future and have the greatest small business renaissance ever known in the history of man. So I suspect I'll say something with maybe a little bit of excitement, right? For that Rhino weekend. So we come into town, and Friday during the day, I'm going to have a scheduled town hall lunch, right? Mayor, whomever. I promise you, I'm Italian, when you go somewhere with food, people like you, right? And I don't have any problem doing that. And we're going to have Rhino Liaison, which is going to set these meetings. So this is all going to be set way ahead of time, right? And then the nighttime, let's mingle a little bit. Let's go to the local business. Let's go to the pubs. Let's go to where they are. Let's talk to the people. Let's meet them. Let's invite them. That Saturday, so Saturday, we're going to have a big event at night. It's going to be a nightlife event. It's going to be in a field. It's going to be something. It's going to be a band. It's going to be everyone jumping and jiving and hooting and whatever they want to do, right? But we're going to have an hour where Rhino's going to get to be able to introduce them. But during the day, how about we go around town? How about we go to Main Street? How about Rhino highlights a Main Street company? How about if every Saturday for this point forward, starting in April, the town that we're in, we go pick a business and we go live stream for Rhino and sell out the entire store? How cool would that be? How about for just that one company, they are listed on every single, they are the first search result on every Rhino Street search engine in the entire globe. Yeah, Rhino Street is 20-mile radius, but that doesn't mean that we can't go ahead and highlight special people, right? If we went into a town and we were able to find a business and sell everything out and really grab the attention of that town that allowed them to then join Rhino Street, would that be worth it? Would that be a cool little magic trick, right? I think the answer is yes. That Sunday, how about we have a nice big brunch event, right? So Saturday night was the cool rally. Sunday would be the nice brunch event. Hey guys, really seriously, thank you for having us. It's been amazing. We're gonna have signups in real time, right? Like we have forms. This is all happening. Live events, bands, shirts, mingle, guests, clear call to action. That's all Rhino Liaison. Call to action, sign up for Rhino Streets and just commit to using it, right? Now, obviously you can't make someone commit to using it, but what's the follow-up? In our education to the Chamber of Commerce, the mayor and the municipality, educating them on how Rhino Street directly impacts the vibrancy of their community, how it directly impacts the tax revenue that they bring in. And on top of that, we'll go ahead and reward them X amount of Rhino coin per year as a municipality to go ahead and participate into charities and all the rest of it. What if we went ahead and highlighted their charity for that week on Rhino, since we've been doing charity, right? There are so many levers that we can do. And you know what's so funny? I haven't mentioned selling a single thing. Everything that we're talking about is going into towns and giving them stuff. So not only do I think this idea sounds amazing, but I'm not, this isn't a pitch. This isn't me going anywhere saying, hey, listen, I have some baseball cards to sell you. It's us giving them this. When we empower people, when we distribute them this, what kind of power do we instill in them, and what kind of power does the movement have? So that's that. All right, so you know what? Let's end off with Abigail's video. Let's do that, right? Okay. I'll speak more on this. Obviously, I'm live every Wednesday. I'm going to be working with V, Rhino host, and she'll be able to share a little bit more of this tomorrow in more regular volume talk, right? Oh, and by the way, for those that participated on Rhino last week and saw me like in modafinil brain where I was just working all day, A, this is what we work on, right? And B, you can see how it has such a clear effect on my speaking ability, right? All right, so let's go ahead and let's go see what Abigail's got for us. And then once this video is complete, that will be our call for the day. I really am sorry that we're going over. This will be done by 3:12, 3:13. And then you guys are gonna have so much fun with V tomorrow because, I mean, how much fun was today, right? She's, you know what's so amazing about V? She's now completely in charge of translating Rhino speak, not Rhino speak, but Anthony speak into like normal person speak, right? All through the Rhino translation. All right, so let's go ahead and get this up.
Good afternoon, Rhinos. Happy day. It's me, the voice of your project manager speaking, and I have some very exciting things to show you today. So we have our very own rhinostreet.com. Guys, I am so excited to finally be able to share this with y'all. We've been working on it for a minute, and I just wanted to say, I know you guys were expecting it yesterday, but it just wasn't quite Rhino ready. So I begged Anthony, please wait, don't let it go out. Just give me one more day to get it Rhino ready. And so we have it for you, Rhino Street. Okay, so standard search bar, we go in here. You can go ahead to, let's see, let's type gift. You can type the keyword, and from here, you'll go ahead and see allow it, all of the keywords that come up as a gift certificate. If you go ahead and click it, it'll bring you to the home page of the business that you search for. But let's see, you guys know that this is my constant keyword when trying to search. So let's go pizza. You guys know already how much I love it. Oh, there's no pizza places. Y'all, I need somebody to make a Rhino pizza place for us, please. With some like, I don't know, Rhino shaped toppings. If anybody can make that happen, let me know. But alas, no results were found. Would you like to be the search result? Be a part of the Rhino Street community, grow your business, support your community. So what you'll do is go ahead and fill out this form. You can type everything, yep. And go ahead and put your business website. And then once you do, go ahead and click submit and make sure to check this box that you are an authorized representative of the business. So go ahead and submit that there, and it'll go ahead and auto-populate. Yeah, so it'll tell you if it's not correct. Oops, sorry, sharing too much of my personal information there, but go ahead and click submit. Going down, we want to go ahead to, you can submit your email address as well, email@email.com, my favorite. Go ahead and submit, and then it brings you back to the top of the page. So we can go ahead and select this to go back. Now, once you're at the main page, again, that's going to be rhinostreet.com. Let's see, you want to become a search result. So you'll go ahead and click this, and I'm just hitting Command click so that I can show you. You have the option to just regularly come on with us. So this will be, again, just another checkbox to make sure that you are not a robot, and fill out this form. Tell us a little bit about your business. This is for businesses that are already pre-existing, so we'll go ahead and get those on. Once you go ahead and once you're here, if you want to go back to the search, you can click on back to the search. But if you want to get to our main page, you'll go ahead and select Rhino, which brings you to our updated, beautiful, we went with a cleaner, simpler branding. So Rhino Street is the world's first and only search engine for local businesses. So here we're searching families first, because we know y'all are family businesses. We know that you guys are out there working hard. So we're prioritizing locally owned, family-run businesses. We support small businesses and local initiatives who are uplifting their community. So you can go ahead and click here to learn about Rhino Charity. We've also got, a little bit of information on Rhino Coin. We have the option to join the Rhino live stream or become a featured business. We also have our standard footer options here, which will bring you to each of the appropriate pages. Let's take a pause here. I want to show you all the new partner page. So this is going to be your new Rhino dashboard. You can click here. For those who have not yet signed up, they can go ahead and sign up here. We have some really exciting things coming up for the affiliate program, which is going to make it a lot simpler. Folks will come to a page similar to this one, and you'll see, you know what, I think I might make you guys another video for tomorrow with very specific information about all of the changes to the affiliate program. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Let's stay and play with this new site. So Rhino Charity, go ahead and click here. So we give back to a new charity every month, and I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but 100% of our revenue from each item sold is donated to the charity of the month. So if you buy a mouse pad for $12, it doesn't matter what the profit of that is. Rhino is donating that full $12 to the charity. We're also going to be updating some new designs. I'm very excited. Anthony and I had a meeting about that this morning, and there's just a lot of beautiful things coming your way. So we'll go ahead and see, you can go ahead and click the size, add to cart. Let's see. Oh, I want to show you guys too. Look, you guys are really, really amazing. We were able to raise $1,700 for Somerset Regional Animal Shelter, and I'll be spending some time today shopping for them so that we can go ahead and donate them supplies and goods. For anybody who missed the donation or fundraising for Somerset Regional Animal Shelter, you can go ahead onto their website. They do have a list of Amazon products. So I'm going to be shipping them a whole bunch of goodies, and you can learn about our past charities as well. So I just want to take a moment and say, guys, our funds that we're raising for our charity keeps going up and up and up. So I'm very excited to see how we're going to do this month, and keep in mind we are going to have new products soon. So this is our charity this month. They're called Our Healing Hub. They're located in Monmouth County, New Jersey. They're actually run by some very good friends of mine. They are a beautiful, beautiful initiative. What they do is provide support for folks in the community who don't have access to different methods of healing and wellness. We can go ahead and you can watch their video just to learn a little bit more about them. But let's see. So we'll go down here as well and show you the coin page. We already saw the partners page. So we have a whole new aesthetic. everywhere. You can learn more about Rhino Coin by watching this Rhino video. If you want to buy yourself a coin or gift a coin, you can go ahead and select buy. And that'll bring you here and it'll show you the price of next year. And then we also have our options to gift the coins. You can always gift them out. And what I'll say is always put your recipient name. If you are gifting to multiple recipients, excuse me, go ahead and put their name followed by comma, followed by their name, and then email followed by comma, followed by the next email. So going back here, we also, something we always have is our balance sheets available for you guys to view. Go ahead and you're ready to sell your coin, fill out this form and submit it here. But basically, guys, there's a whole bunch of really amazing changes happening here. I'm very excited to share with you all this site refresh. We've been working on it a while, and there's always ways that we are looking to continue improving. And really, at the end of the day, we would not be able to keep improving if it weren't for you beautiful, amazing, powerful rhinos. So sending you all my love today. Keep on, carry on, stay Rhino strong. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all real soon. I may pop in one of these lives someday and see you guys again to chat. All right, peace, everybody. Have a fantastic Rhino-tastic day.
She's so funny. So I just saw that for the first time now too. And a couple of things I'd like to say. What you've seen is when you were on Rhino Street and you went to the about, the Rhino button on the bottom left to our regular pages, it said distributivemarketing.com. That is going to be rhinostreet.com. Our pages have gone from us doing it on Wix to actually coding the code from scratch. So that transition is still going. It should be if you give me till the middle of next week, it'll be done, right? So I'm hoping by tomorrow, but let's just say the middle of next week. So what you saw in terms of distributed marketing will be Rhino Street. The ledger will be on the page as well. Obviously that was missed. That's just, we'll add that. And what else? Oh, the Rhino gift. What you'll notice is those numbers are still the gift packages from last month before the coin went up. Obviously those that know, every new month the coin does go up. So I am changing those prices to go ahead and reflect this month. I think those are the two notes I had. And Abigail will do another video for us for tomorrow to more crisply explain the partnership program. This month, each week is going to be a lot of new stuff because again, we are going to be on the road in April. And I said this to my wife and she wasn't a fan of it. Not that she didn't think it was a good idea, but it's just like we have a family now. But I want so badly to have a big green Rhino bus with a cape around it, just driving from city to city. Obviously, there's a lot of gray area between not having it and having it, so I'm going to figure that out. But for those that are starting to see, this is happening. And if someone thinks that I will take my foot off the gas at any point, you obviously don't know me. And for those that purchase the coin, this is what they're owning, right? The coin is completely 100% captures the value of everything because every transaction is captured in it. Therefore, the growth of the platform is all captured in the value of the coin. And when you can purchase it from now, it's 4 cents. And God forbid it goes to $100, $200, $1,000, and it's all in the Rhino balance sheet. So you'll see the projections. All right, it's now 3:14. So let me go. I absolutely love everyone. And guys, we're there. We're really, really close to being there. So this month's exciting. So get excited. You're here. We're here. We're doing it together. All right. Bye, guys. Love you.